Hello there and welcome to another episode of Studs Up, brought to you by talkSPORT. Bet you already know what it is by now. You can watch us, of course, but we're also available on Spotify. Yes! Woohoo! There you go. Yeah. You can hear the lads celebrating. Amazing. So you don't have to look at Bentley's teeth every week now. Oh, no. They asked me to say that. That was on here. I promise you.
Horse teeth. I get it, all right?
That was on here, I promise you. But, I mean, I've already half introduced him, but I've got to do a little intro, haven't I? To my left, right, I've got... Yes, he's a Barclaysman. He played for Arsenal. He played for Spurs. But did you know he was in the top 17 sexiest people to come out of Cambridge, sir? It is David Bentley.
I was top 5 gay icon as well. I was called the Scally.
Yeah,
the Scally. That's when I had the skinhead. I looked a bit rough. There you go.
There you go. I didn't know that one.
You didn't know. Well, there you go. Freddie Lundberg done me. He was number 1. Remember the Calvin Klein advert?
Yeah.
He done me. I was gutted. But 5.
You take
top
10.
10.
Take
Top 5.
Of course you will. Of course. Top 17 in Cambridge, so with Carol Vorderman was in there.
We'll go out in Soho tonight, son. We won't be left alone.
There you are. And the next, completing the trio, let's say that. I mean, he's got his own fan base, dedicated fan base. He's got his own dedicated protest group as well. And he might not have made any sexiest list, but his missus messaged him as he left today and said, "You look lovely in your gilet." It's Rory Jennings. How are you?
You've got no idea how true that is.
Yeah,
you've got no idea. Yeah.
So you walk in with it. I thought I respect it.
Yeah, I'm a
like
gilet
it.
man now.
Yeah.
I've committed.
So you go from shorts to gilet. You just
Shorts to gilet. Exactly.
He is the icon, though. The posh icon.
Do you think so?
He's posh. He is posh.
Yeah.
Performing arts. Look, there you go. He's the Piers Morgan of talkSPORT. He's an icon.
Well, I'll take it.
He's
I'll take it.
Don't worry about that.
I agree. Little trim as well, is it?
Yeah.
And a little trim. Very discreet. Very discreet.
Well, we noticed.
Well, because you know what? I'm so scared that they're going to... I go in there now and I go, like, not a lot of... I'm not a trendy man. Yeah. Don't want any sort of hipster haircut.
Yeah.
But I come out of there, I'm like, barely anybody's noticed, so I appreciate that.
You do look fresh today. Yeah. You look so fresh.
Mate, the David Bentley seal of approval.
Yeah, I'm just like, look,
top 5 gay icons in the world.
It's a loving.
That.
Hey, when you get that, the Messiah has spoken.
Suited and booted as well.
Yeah, suited and booted.
We got to talk. Why are you suited and booted?
Well, I'm going to an event tonight, yes. A boxing event sponsored by talkSPORT, actually. Just to raise money for kids on the street to do with boxing as well. So it's a big event over in Battersea, So I'm looking forward to it,
I thought it was for Chelsea's funeral after that.
No.
Qarabag. Oh, no. We'll get on to it. What about Ali last week, boys?
Brilliant, wasn't it? What an icon.
Great chat, wasn't it? Yeah,
what
I know.
a man. Legend.
Everyone's commenting, loving it.
He's obviously within the broadcasting world and as a footballer and as a human being. He's just an example to everyone. You know how you can, he's just a positive, lovely man. I love it.
It's the first. I've worked at talkSPORT a long time now. It's a real honour. But I've never met Ali McCoy. We're like ships in the night. He generally does the earlies, right? I generally do the evenings. So we're ships in the night. We don't really see each other. Met him last week for the first time for 45 minutes. Suddenly, it all clicked. I totally understood why Sue Barker would give him all the points on Question of Sport. Remember, he'd get the answers wrong and she'd be swooning, giving him the points. You're like, makes complete sense. What a charming man.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, though, because obviously he's in all of our homes now when it comes to commentary, but he was in everyone's home for Question of Sport as well. Scotland adoring because of range. Obviously, we know all
he's
that.
Gone beyond being a sport icon.
Yes.
Like, my wife has absolutely no concept of sport whatsoever. She's fully aware of Ali McCoy.
Yeah, exactly, right.
He's a national treasure, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is. And congratulations, because he became a granddad on the day that he was with us.
Yeah, good shout.
So great, congratulations, Ali. And I think it's his daughter or son, but brilliant.
His son, amazing.
His son, was it? Yeah.
Well done, Ali. Beautiful. Well done, Ali. Let's talk about our weeks a little bit. I'm going to kick you off, right? So I'm going to set the scene.
Yep.
So I'm in the chippy, right, doing my usual thing. I'm at my mum, so I'm going to get my mum a chippy, get my missus a chippy myself. Who gives me a call? It's Mr. David Bentley, of course. You got to answer, haven't you? You got to answer.
You got to check in on him, mate. I care for you now.
You're good to me. He is good to me. He's good to me. So I pick up, we're just chatting. I said, 1 second, Benz, put the phone to my chest. Oh, boss, can I just get loads of chili on the chips, please? I can hear him kicking off on the other side of the phone. What the hell? What have you just ordered? What? So I said, have you not heard of chili and mayo? So he can't get his head round, right? And I'm going to put it out to you as well.
Never heard it.
You've never heard this before?
Never heard it.
Right, so I'm from Birmingham for context, Midlands, right?
Yeah.
You go in, chippy, bag of chips or, chicken fillet burger or whatever it is you want to get, chili mayo. If anything, they go salt vinegar, you go, they go chili mayo.
No, it's
just
an
been
assumed
asked that
thing.
They
question.
assume it,
Never
heard
asked
of
that
it.
question. So I'm divided, aren't I? So all my family are from up north.
Yeah.
They're all Rochdale based. They're all still up there. I'm looking forward to seeing them this weekend at my Blackburn Rovers 150th anniversary game, which is amazing. So I'll see them all again. But if I'm up there, my dad and my granddad, the uncles, David, go down to Chippy and get some chips and gravy and a Hollands pie. That's exactly what they're... And then, but if I'm down south with all my mates, it's like, chips and curry sauce.
Right.
It's like chips and curry. You don't get gravy.
Yeah.
And if you got chili sauce and mayo,
yeah.
never. That's why I was like, what?
He couldn't believe it. Honestly, he lost his mind. He's like, we're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna have to talk about this.
I've got to sort this out because it made obviously like I can't focus.
Fish is a very particular thing as well. I wouldn't suggest that mayonnaise and fish is.
No, but you know what? I'll be honest. I'll go even one further. I don't think many people get fish and chips. Really, I don't think.
What would you get? Battered sausage or something?
Maybe a battered sausage or chicken Philly burger meals. I think kebabs.
Is that what it is?
I'm such a cod and chips man. I'm just so basic when it comes. Like it's perfect. It doesn't.
Rory
some
has
things
tartar on it.
No, I don't. I don't like it. That would be if I were to have a sauce, it would be that. But I just like lashings of salt and vinegar only.
Yeah.
Cod and chips. Peas? Yeah. I'll squeeze a lemon on the fish.
Yeah.
Squeeze a lemon on the fish. Loads of salt. Loads of vinegar, and that's perfect. Open up. Walk down the street with them, hopefully by the sea. If I'm by the seaside, that's a dream.
Oh, yeah.
But
do you have mushy peas with it?
No, I don't really like them. I just think it's a perfect meal as it is. Just fish and chips.
Because that's the iconic one. Mushy peas,
people
chips
like
and
that.
gravy.
Yeah, I like that.
Up north.
Yeah.
And then down here, mushy
So you're
peas.
because you've done both. So
Yeah,
what would you?
I sit both sides.
What would your
I'm
order be,
universal, like chameleon. I can just sort of adapt. I can adapt to posh people like Rory.
and hood rats
common
like me.
people like you.
So what do you do then? You go into Chippy now. What are you ordering? Let's finish on that.
Oh. Because I'm down south, it's chips and curry sauce.
So
I love curry sauce. Curry sauce. Fish, when you go to the Chippy to get the curry sauce, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't get offered chili and mayo. Like,
you're going to have to try some.
Like, everyone would go, what are you doing?
You're going to have to try some, honestly.
I'm open. I'm open to the idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect meal as it is.
Yeah.
Cod and chips, loads of salt, loads of vinegar.
But it's funny as we're a country, aren't we? And you get the regions of our country that even have their chips different.
The divide in the country.
Different. Let's not divide people. Let's not divide and conquer now. Come on.
See, I'm trying to be
not a political show.
I'm trying to be controversial, aren't I? Stop it, right? Right. Okay. Let's move on. That was a Chippy chat. Okay, we had to do it. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let's move on to some football. That's why people are tuning in. Hopefully. And reacts actually to some of the games in a week. We've got to start with Liverpool Madrid because obviously they've had a bit of a rough time of it. We did scoff a little bit at Slot under a bit of pressure, but he was, that the media was getting on him a little bit, and that's a massive result in it, Bence. Massive result.
Unbelievable result. I mean, Real Madrid, they've been doing well. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe's been doing amazing. And I thought Liverpool just produced. They've gone back to their old sort of team sort of system.
Yeah.
Sort of, a lot of the lads that they brought in, and they've gone back to basics, and they've been getting results lately. And all credit to Liverpool. You had the situation with Trent coming back to Anfield as well, and the boos. You can lose a bit of concentration, and when you're under pressure, the team has stepped up and beaten one of the big hitters in Europe. So, all credit to Slot. And all credit to the players that they've responded and got a result like that. It's not easy.
No, it was a massive result. But you mentioned it there, Trent booing. I've heard some callers, Rory, on talkSPORT say I was planning the boo, how I was gonna boo, whether I was gonna boo if he didn't come on or not, or whatever. What do you make of that? Do you think that's nonsense, or do you get it?
No, I think they're completely right. The fans who chose to boo Trent Alexander-Arnold are completely within their rights, and it's completely a fair enough decision. I think the people who get very sneery towards football fans, or almost try and play the moral high ground, try and absorb the moral high ground, and say that fans shouldn't do this. This is how you should be a fan. This is the right way of doing it. The people that often do that are people who have never stood in an away end in their life. The people who often take that moral superiority over football fans are quite often people, very privileged journalists, who have never ever stood in an away end. They don't really know football culture from within. They don't really understand the passion that goes with it. They absorb the game via XG stats. They absorb the game from a privileged vantage point in the director's box or in a press box. But they don't actually know what football culture is about. And any Liverpool fan that was booing Trent Alexander-Arnold is completely within their rights. It makes complete sense to me. If the situation were reversed and I was a Liverpool fan, or if the same situation occurred at Chelsea, I would have 100% booed him.
Yeah.
I gave William Gallas nothing but stick from the Matthew Harding lower. I gave Gustavo Poyet nothing but stick from the Matthew Harding lower. Every opportunity that we came up against Gustavo Poyet, I would do my best to lay into him. Every opportunity that we came up against William Gallas, I would do my best to lay into him. And people who try and judge that, people who try and be sneery towards that, it's actually a massive red flag that they don't know anything about football. Trent Alexander-Arnold treated Liverpool poorly. That's a fact. Like,
In
yeah,
what-
was
in
he a
what
good player?
sense?
Was he a good player? Absolutely. Did he do well for the club? Absolutely. But did he tarnish his legacy by betraying the club? 100%.
But when you say betraying the club, I know there's loads of variables and loads of factors there. What are you specifically talking about? Is it the fact that he manufactured the move away, or he let his contract whittle down,
Yeah.
or whatever? Is it that kind of stuff? Learning Spanish? Are those the things that you're talking about?
All of the above. You touch on it. You touch on it perfectly, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think the way that he didn't really say anything was out of order. The way that he positioned himself as being just a lad from Liverpool was out of order. The way that he turned his back on the champions. Remember, when other players have left Liverpool to pursue a career in Madrid, it kind of made sense. Steve McManaman, for example, he left Liverpool when they didn't really have a chance of winning the league. Trent Alexander-Arnold left the champions of England to join the team that weren't even champions of Spain. So he did betray the champions. He was the heir apparent to the Liverpool captaincy, which, if you're a Liverpool lad, has to be one of the most iconic things that you could possibly take. He was also on course to potentially break Jamie Carragher's outrageously impressive over 700 games for Liverpool in a Premier League era. He was destined to become a true great of the club, and he turned it all in for what? To become a forgotten Galactico, as we have seen time and time again. Liverpool fans who have the hump with Alexander-Arnold are correct. He did that gesture to the fans that, ignore the paper talk or whatever, I'm fully focused on the club. All the while he's learning Spanish. He obviously led him down the garden path.
Yeah.
And I think overall, I've heard the airways full of people saying that it's out of order, booing him and whatever. I've heard journalists, I've heard people with very privileged positions, but I would honestly argue 99% of the time, a person like David Bentley talking about football is so worth listening to.
Yeah.
The one time that you and I are worth listening to more is a fan issue. And this is a fan issue. Former players are going to back their mate. Former players could see it through a different lens.
I'm just about to come and back my mate.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Given up, yeah. I mean, I listen to all what you're saying, but obviously he's given so much to Liverpool Football Club. Coming through the youth system, I think. Are you on the side that you think he's gone for money?
Yeah.
Or,
Look, he
you
could have
think it's
become.
purely
He
money?
could have. What he's not going to be at Real Madrid is a legend.
Yeah.
At Liverpool, he was on course to be a one-club man. Imagine that. Your local kid. The one only, right, you got your mural up. Your dream is to play for Liverpool. You achieved that dream. You then talk about being just a lad from Liverpool. You're then definitely going to be the next captain. You're then possibly going to break Jamie Carragher's record. You're then going to go down as a one-club man. When you think of one-club men, like, what are we talking here? Paolo Maldini. Totti, Giggs.
Yeah.
Like, you are talking, like Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
You are talking the creme de la creme, the absolute boys of football. And he could have been one of them. And he sacked it off to go and play a
just-
bit
But
of...
what if
Just
he
to
didn't-
lighten the mood,
Go
right?
on.
You just brought up Totti, right?
Yeah.
I was in a pre-season game against Roma, right? It's lighten the mood. You can get back. We'll get back to Trent in a minute.
That's pretty cool, though.
And we're playing, and then he's got subbed. I'm still on, and then I've come. I think I've come off, but I found myself in the shower with Totti, mate. What do you call him? Adonis. He was like,
yeah.
like he just
Amazing.
come out like that, just.
Really?
Like
ripped, yeah.
Yeah, for a minute I went, hold up a minute. Hold up a minute, I'll do what you want, Totti. So
Amazing,
that was
man.
I don't know why that came into my head. I remember thinking he's one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen.
He's a cool
Yeah,
geezer.
there you
An
go.
unbelievable
But
footballer.
one club man, like you say,
Yeah,
even
one
that,
club
like
man,
the legacy,
yeah.
the aura. But I have to go back to your point, yeah. And maybe I'm going to be one of these red flags because I do hear what you're saying, and I'm not questioning people that booed him because it's your prerogative to boo if you want to, right?
Yeah.
So in that respect, do what you want. I'm not telling Liverpool fans what to do, but what if he didn't want to be a one club man, which evidently he didn't want to be?
wanted
I
to
understand.
experience culture,
He's come through the Liverpool ranks. He's essentially is Liverpool through and through. But
well, he's obviously not.
But
That's
it is
not, that's
because-
not fair. That's not true.
Well,
is it?
let's say it's a career choice for him, right?
Yeah.
To want to play for Real Madrid one day, he can still have Liverpool in his heart and love Liverpool, and he's won trophies with Liverpool. He can still have all those things and want to explore, like you say, go overseas and get well travelled and play for Real Madrid like that. I get why the boos are happening, but at the same time, for example, me, I wouldn't boo that. I know it's kind of different, but Cristiano Ronaldo, I remember when he went to Real Madrid, he did an interview and he said, "No, I'm going to stay." And then he went to Real Madrid, and look, my heart was broken, absolutely broken. I know it's slightly different, well, it's very different, but just a scenario that's relevant to me. I'd never in a million years have booed him.
But Cristiano Ronaldo's not Mancunian.
No, that's what I say. I know that's why the snow is different.
Cristiano Ronaldo's not Mancunian.
But he said
I think
he would
anybody from Iberia, which Cristiano Ronaldo is, anybody from that peninsula or South America, I think the allure of Real Madrid always rings true. You kind of get it. You kind of understand. I don't feel the same way about Hazard as I do about Thibaut Courtois. I'll boo Thibaut Courtois till I'm blue in the face. I wouldn't boo Eden Hazard. There are differences.
Is that because you got the money?
There are ways of leaving. I think
there are ways. Money plays a big part.
I think securing like Trent Alexander-Arnold, he didn't play it right. I think there is a world in which you can leave, but
what could he have done better?
Yeah,
he could have signed a contract. He could have signed a contract to make sure that Liverpool got some money. The only reason they got some money is because Real Madrid wanted him for the Club World Cup. He could have been honest. He could have spoken. Coming out and doing an interview in pure Spanish when you've acted like you weren't leaving, and then suddenly you're speaking fluent Spanish.
Yeah, he's manifesting the move, though. He's got to move, and he's got to have his own. He's got to
think
about himself.
All of that's
too.
fine. Think about yourself. But what you have to do is acknowledge that your Liverpool legacy is tarnished.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. It's fine to go. Look, I wanted to further my career. I wanted to play for Real Madrid. They're one of the most iconic shirts in probably the most iconic shirt in the world. If you want to be, and this is what you are being, Ryan, incredibly rational about it, you're going to win this argument. But the beauty of football is its irrationality.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to be rational about it. It's insane that I will cheer on a 16-year-old from Brazil, isn't it? That I will dedicate, like everyone dedicates their time, their money, their commitment. They prioritise these footballers who they've never met. But that's amazing. If you want to go, well, he's allowed to go to, of course he's allowed to go to Spain. But he tarnished his Liverpool legacy. He turned his back on his home club, and there is a penalty to pay for that. Yeah. That's not controversial. He turned his back. He was the champion of England. He could have stayed. They wanted him to stay. He turned his back on the club to fly to Real Madrid to be with his best mate Bellingham.
I think it's Liverpool as well, isn't it? As a whole, like Liverpool's history, Liverpool area, you could sort of class it as a
community,
like a community feel, and it's sort of got a country feel about it. So when one of their own leaves, they don't like it.
No, I kept telling us that he was one of you. That's the other thing.
I think he is one of them. He has given a lot to Liverpool.
Just a lad from Liverpool. No, but that was him. That was his thing.
But he is.
But from a cultural standpoint, he wants to go and experience a different culture, different way of life.
But then don't expect to be seen through the same lens. Don't expect to be seen through the same lens as Paul Scholes and Steven Gerrard. Like they were singing Gerrard's name at him. But also, I think we're getting a bit emotional about it as well. He's playing for the opposition, right? He's playing for the opposition. In an intense game, Liverpool have had their backs against the wall. A lot of it is just trying to win the game, trying to upset the apple cart, trying to, a lot of Real Madrid players were booed.
Would you say for any footballer, Real Madrid is the pinnacle of who you can play for?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be in the minority, but I wouldn't.
Who would you put?
You know this
who's the pinnacle of football?
I'll tell you why. Yeah. It's apparent. It's very much about who you are. So when people were saying this about Alexander-Arnold, people kept going like this. Well, you don't say no to Real Madrid. I was like, well, I would have done. Because I wanted to play for Chelsea.
Yeah, Rory would have said, Rory would have took the money straight away.
100%. Mate, my dream as a kid, I was no good at football, but my dream as a kid was to play for Chelsea. Yeah. And I'm not ready to close the door on that. I still believe I'm going to score a goal for Chelsea at Wembley in the FA Cup final, right? The second I give up on that dream, my life's over.
But if you give 10 years to live, what's he give? 10
years?
Yeah.
He won everything in the end.
You don't say no to Real Madrid. Well, I mean, people do. Totti did.
Yeah.
Giggs didn't go to Italy Giggs could have gone to Inter Milan. He didn't. Paul Scholes was wanted by every big club in. There was a time when Frank Lampard could have gone and joined Mourinho at Madrid. At Milan.
Yeah.
He didn't. Like you can say no to these massive super clubs, and the people that do, the Gary Nevilles or Paul Scholes of this world, they deserve that adulation and credit.
Yeah, they do,
you can't treat Steven Gerrard or Jamie Carragher in the same way that you treat Trent Alexander-Arnold or Steve McManaman, to come to that. If you leave, great, you go and you win a European Cup or whatever, but there is a penalty.
Yeah.
I think Steven Gerrard is an icon,
yeah.
and the reason he's an icon is because he stayed. Jamie Carragher has 737 games for Liverpool. Yeah. It's like Premier League games, by the way. Like it's mental. But you can't possibly compare the legacy of Carragher with the legacy of Alexander-Arnold. Because one of them turned their back on the club and the other one didn't.
Whew, well, there we go. Right.
There you go.
Hey, listen.
Unlucky, Trent.
Do you know, it is one of those interesting conversations. We spent a few more minutes on than we should have, but I think it's well worth it because it is very, very interesting. As we move on to a brilliant bit of punditry to the man to my left, right? Spurs, of course.
I'm the pundit.
Yeah, I know, because you're talking about Xavi Simons, right?
Yes.
Playing on the left when you were doing Inside Spurs. Now, in the 10, you were like, you need to get in the 10. You made some comparisons to Modric, I think, if I remember rightly.
Rory likes this, doesn't he? Like,
You can hear him popping over there. We'll get to Rory. We'll get to Rory. Don't look at him. Just don't look at him.
No, I'm not. Do you see how I'm just focusing?
He's got the fingers on it, like those horses. You know those horses in riots.
He's not there.
Don't bring up my teeth again.
And you were right, because he played in that position.
Yeah.
And he had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah, so I went to the Chelsea game on Saturday, and it was one of the... You can't deny it was one of the worst performances from a Tottenham team. I think anyone's seen in a long time. Just didn't turn up. They, couldn't lay a glove on Chelsea. And fair play to Chelsea physically. They were unbelievable on the day. I mean, Tottenham are still above Chelsea in the league and above them in the Champions League. But woohoo! Have that one, Rory.
Put it in the trophy cabinet.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, it's come out already.
Look at him! I'm still facing that way.
Yeah, don't look at him.
But as far as Xavi Simons, you see, I say Xavi. You like that. But Simons, I thought he come on. Obviously, Bergvall went off with a sort of head injury, and then he's come on, and he's asked him to play on the left. I think he's put him out on the wings a few times. But my observation was that he just he's not a winger. He's a number 10. Plays in the hole, he gets the ball when he feeds, and you can feed him the ball, and he gets on the half turn and sort of plays little through balls and stuff like that. And I thought he was exceptional against Copenhagen. I thought he was brilliant. His first assist.
There you go. That's the focus now.
Go on.
What is the focus?
So sorry, he was excellent exceptional against
Copenhagen. It don't matter who you're out there. It's Champions League team. It's all right. Tottenham are above Chelsea. I mean,
Qarabag.
Qarabag. Yeah, you done Azerbaijan should have easily beat them. Azerbaijan, you've gone there, not get a result.
With Chelsea, we can do Chelsea. We can drill into Chelsea, no doubt. Yeah. But let's focus on Simons.
They had a
right?
good day on Saturday. It was a good day. Yeah.
Xavi Simons played very well against a team who you couldn't name a player from, and very badly against a team where you could name every player.
No, but it's always about when you're receiving the ball, it don't matter. When you're in the Champions League, when you're playing in the Champions League level and you're receiving the ball in the afternoon, you've got the responsibility under the lights. 60,000 fans is under pressure. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It's all about when you receive the ball, it can come off you. And I thought his decision making was
5 of the Premier League.
But his decision making was unbelievable.
Copenhagen would do very well to win 40 points in the Premier League.
You got to Azerbaijan. Chelsea got a result.
Chelsea, absolutely. Well, but your Xavi Simons analysis is so generous.
So you're not having him, Rory?
No,
Xavi Simons. You're not having him.
You're not having him.
No. Why?
He's a woeful player. Woeful, totally lightweight. He's totally lightweight.
He's not suited. Getting Bents here. This is the first time I've seen Bents sit back in his chair.
He's woeful. Like, I mean, they subbed the sub, didn't they, against Chelsea? They subbed the sub.
They did, but
that was Xavi Simons didn't know what day it was when he's up against a Caicedo type player, when he's up against a midfield that know how to defend, that know how to put him under pressure, that know how to make sure that he's not in space. He's playing against geezers where literally three of us, all football lovers, I imagine everybody listening to this, all love football. Play a game with me. Name a Copenhagen player. Literally.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So he's amazing.
No, he was amazing.
You could
with the ball, his decision making was unbelievable.
He was amazing against people that we don't know. He's amazing. You can see the point, right? He's amazing.
Is there an argument that he's still betting into the league because he was fantastic?
There's an argument he's not suited to the league.
No, it's too early to say that. Modric had exactly the same. And the point I was making on him, Modric had the same. When he come into the football club, very slight in his build and the way he played. But a player like that, a player with, he needs to be fed the ball and so on. If the team isn't playing well, you won't see him. It's a bit like Cole Palmer. When Chelsea have moved away from feeding Cole Palmer, they fed him for 18 months, exceptional, getting on the ball in good areas. The team were playing well. They were feeding Cole Palmer. And then as a team, they switched off feeding him the ball. So Cole Palmer, stats went down, stopped scoring goals, stopped being on the ball and stopped being effective. Xavi Simons, just receiving the ball and the way he has the ball, the way he moves, the way he sees things, the way he tries things. And I've respected the way some of his interviews when he's come out of it. Yeah. I do think that if he's played in that 10 role, he can really be effective for Tottenham.
Your Modric comparison is bang on. And maybe you're right. Maybe he goes Luka Modric. But everything that you said about Luka Modric took his time to find his rhythm, took his time to find the league. It's totally applicable to Timo Werner.
No,
totally.
Timo Werner is not. He's a winger.
Timo Werner and Xavi Simons are both examples of players that arrive from the Bundesliga and are clearly out of their depth in the Premier League.
Xavi Simons is much.
He's Dutch.
He's not. I don't know. I just feel like doing it.
Sounds better.
I'm trying to throw him off, isn't I? But you can't put him. Timo Werner. They're not in the same. He's a better player, much better player, and a completely different type of player to Timo Werner.
And still in the early stages of his Premier League.
He was a he beat his man so frustrating, that player. But Simons is a player that I'm telling you, he started in Copenhagen. He's just settling down to a new Premier League and playing up against physical Premier League players is completely different.
Exactly.
The tempo.
And that's who he's playing
no, he's
against
finding
week in,
his
week
feet.
out.
But he's finding his feet. But once he's found it and the team have trust in him, you're going to see one of the top players in the Premier League.
Debate. One of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be wrong.
Love it.
And I look forward to you announcing that I'm right.
No.
You can tell Benson's
Rory,
getting
you ain't
serious.
beat me yet.
The closer he gets to the mic.
I'm chewing it.
We put a line on it, right? By Valentine's Day. Give him till February.
Valentine's. Look at him.
Oh, he's a romantic.
Give him till February.
Romantic.
Give him till
Look at him.
February, and I'd say that if... How many goals has he scored this season, do you think? I say none.
No, I think if he can get...
None
say he
in the
gets
Premier League.
10 assists and 5 or 6 goals.
Impossible.
Right.
So he's 10.
15 goal contributions.
I reckon he'll get there.
I say none and none.
Okay, let's put a
None
line through it
and
there.
none.
Let's
None
put a
and
line through it there. I'm going to have to break these two up.
and
Right.
Nah.
Let's talk
Timo
about some...
Werner, like
I know.
comparison.
Listen,
unbelievable.
Ben's rattled
Ah,
you.
he
You
was
need to
poor.
calm
And
down.
look, Chelsea, one good game. You're still behind Tottenham in the Premier League, still behind them in the Champions League. I mean, there you go. That's how well you're doing. And I'm chewing off the mic.
Let's talk about something you can't disagree with, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few topics with this player. I've got the prompts in front of me here. Micky van der Ven.
Oh, here we go.
The goal. Unbelievable, Bence, right?
Unbelievable. Is he the best centre half in the world at the minute?
In the world.
No, he's not. I mean, he did something. Is that there are aspects of his game that no other centre half can do. I will agree with you there. Like, however, Van Dijk's a better player, but Van Dijk couldn't score a goal like that. Saliba's a better player. Saliba couldn't score a goal like that. There are aspects of Van der Ven's game that put him in the elite bracket. I completely agree. I think he's a brilliant player. The goal was outrageous.
Outrageous, yeah.
And he's one of the best defenders in the league, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. But let's talk about the other side of it, right? Him and Jed Spence, obviously, they've since apologised for that. Thomas Frank. What do you make of that, Rory?
But do you know what, Ryan? Can we go to Mr. Bentley here? Because this is from your perspective, like players doing that to their manager.
Yeah. I could see it. I was at the game and watching it at the end, and you look down. I've been in situations like that. It was an embarrassing performance from the players. They know when you're out there, you're going, oh my God, we're bad today. And Thomas Frank has got this thing where he goes out and he does the rectangle round the pitch, box to box, and claps all the fans. In that moment, with that performance against a London rival, and especially Chelsea, the rivalries, probably one of the biggest there is, really, with Arsenal as well. And to do it and to lose in the manner you've lost as a player. Thomas Frank's walked on the pitch and he's obviously said, come on lads, like we're going to do a clap, and they've just got no chance. Yeah. Because when you watch Thomas Frank, when I'm staying to watch it, mate, the abuse from the fans, the boos at
But what do you
minutes
think
was...
about it happening? Should it, from a fan's perspective,
Yeah.
I would go bang out of order. The
Don't
office of
disrespect
the
the
manager.
manager.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
disrespect the manager. You've got to pay with a place in the team for a game.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you think it can be minor? Do you think they could get in the dressing room and everything's fine and it's just sorry?
No, it has to be dealt
it's
with.
bigger
It has
than
to be-
that.
Communication is key. When I look back at my career, whenever I had fallings out or situations, and probably in life, communicate as quickly as possible. Have a row, get it out in that dressing room, which the way the lads were, you could see that it's probably going to kick off.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
love to
bubbling.
have seen what was going on because it's an embarrassment as a footballer. You know, as a fan, you're embarrassed with your fellow fans. Like you get beat by Chelsea, you're like humiliated. The players are humiliated, sort of from a professional level.
Do you ever have anything like this? Can you ever remember a situation
Great
where
shout.
has it ever happened to you?
I remember Bolton away, and we were terrible. This was
Blackburn.
Blackburn, and Stephen Reid got Robbie Savage by the neck and lifted him off the ground. And I was
What?
like, in the dressing room, and it kicked off, and it was a terrible performance, because at the time
Bolton's a bit of a
there's
there
a
an
rivalry.
intensity?
There's an
Yeah.
intensity there. It's a
Yeah.
local derby, both in the Premier League and flying high. And I think it was Allardyce's team at the time. I better get that
good
right
team.
before I get pulled up. But whoever manager was,
Carell's watching.
and I remember Stephen Reid was a bit like a solid player. What an exceptional player he was, by the way. Only got done by injury. He was Steven Gerrard, sort of type powerhouse in midfield. But Savs, we've all arguing, as you do, because you're all, I don't know whether we were getting beat or what we were doing, but we weren't playing well. And we were getting it, and come in and it all kicked off. But
how important is it? Was that then over when it was over?
Yeah, it has to be.
So
Yeah.
it's not. So Monday morning, it's
No,
not
don't
still.
drag on.
It doesn't linger.
No,
Doesn't
Monday,
linger.
the manager's got to go in. Thomas Frank this is why he's a manager of a football club. This is why he's a manager in one of the highest positions in England. Is to be in control of a football team like that and players and whatever the squad's worth. You're in charge of that. You've got to manage them situations. That's where you show your class as a manager. And it looks like he has, because he's obviously dealt with that. And the response, Van der Ven was brilliant on, even though, as Rory says, it's Copenhagen, but he's responded with one of the greatest goals that's ever scored. So that shows the class of the player. And I think all credit, where we have a go at managers, Thomas Frank can get great credit because he's got a reaction there.
Good manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah, credit in the bank for sure. So, go on in, Rory. Qarabag Chelsea. What happened?
Do you know what? It's just one of those results. It's a bad result. It really is a bad result. But this is more about the problems that we have in the Champions League at the moment. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no jeopardy. Chelsea will progress. Chelsea will go through.
You have said that before, actually.
Which is, I'm not saying that's a good thing. Like, imagine if Chelsea had drawn 2-2 with Qarabag in the old style Champions League. You know, when you're 4 teams, you play each other home and away. A result like that could potentially really put your qualification in jeopardy. You'd be really worried. You then have to basically win every other game. I remember we went away. Willian, playing for Shakhtar, scored against us. I remember I flew into Kiev, got trained to Donetsk. We got beat 2-1. On the way back, I remember sitting on the train going, "We're out, man. Like, we're not going to make it through this group off the back of one bad result." I understand why this group, it's not this league stage of the Champions League now is seen as being a good thing. But basically, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Which I think is a shame. Really, what you two should be able to say to me is, you got done by Qarabag, you're in big trouble.
Well, we are still saying that. No, we are still saying that. That's a world-class pivot. That is a brilliant pivot, but that was terrible from Chelsea.
It's a really turning point in their season, really, that result.
It could be, couldn't it?
They've gone there.
I just don't... Do you know what? You've gone away from home. We played a London derby. We've gone away from home. We've rotated the squad. We weren't clever. We didn't play well. We didn't deserve anything out of the game. Like, we were really poor.
Why were you poor? What do you think's happened? What can you put it down to one thing?
No, I can't tell you the answer, but I can tell you that it's always possible with Chelsea. Like, if you think about our results this season, there are some excellent results, excellent moments. Beating Liverpool at home, for example, that's one of the best results that we've had in the last 3 years under this new ownership. Beating Tottenham away will always be one of the best days that Chelsea fans will have going to football. Like, it's always significant to go to Tottenham and win. But there have been terrible. Like, we've dropped points to Brentford this season. We've lost at home. We've lost at home to Brighton. We've lost away to Manchester United. You know, we've dropped points at home to Crystal Palace. You know, we came very close to dropping points at home to Fulham. Like, we are a team that are capable of not necessarily turning up in those kind of fixtures, which is a shame.
But whose fault is that?
I think it's Maresca's. It has to be Maresca's. But the one excuse is 90% Maresca's. But you know, sometimes what we don't have is any of those 30-year-old players that know what going away to Qarabag is about.
Agreed.
Understand. Like, do you know, I'm going off point, but let me just make this point because I think it kind of comes back to it. I saw I don't know if you saw it, but I saw a Fulham player trying to flog tickets for their game against Wolves. I don't know if you saw it. It was mental. Yeah. Absolutely mental. And they were priced really dear. They were really dear. Now, on some level, there are a lot of Fulham fans that would understand that playing Wolves at home is their most important game of the season. It's them literally way bigger than playing Man City at home, way bigger than playing Chelsea away. The biggest game of the season, Wolves at home. You have to win it. They don't see it that way, which is why they're flogging tickets far too dear, right? I think there's a lot of players at Chelsea that don't understand that where our season will be defined isn't when we play Liverpool at home. It's when we play Brighton at home.
Yeah.
It's when we play Brighton at home. It's when we play Palace at home. You know, they're the fixtures that are going to define who we are because they're the games that you need to win. We can't get up for the smaller games. And I think that's partly because there's no 30-year-old that really gets it in the dressing room. Yeah. And partly because the manager's not very good, is he? He's quite an uninspiring manager.
You've said that a few times.
I don't like him.
Like, he's no good, is he? He's he's off the top of... let's play a game then. If you concede, and I'm not giving it the big and ear at all, Chelsea, with no contest, are top 5 teams in the league in terms of the size of the club. Yeah. Right, so I would argue higher, but for the sake of this, let's just pretend top 5. Right? Off the top of my head, I can immediately think of 6 or 7 managers better than Enzo Maresca.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
So we're not. You
haven't got the best in class.
No, we haven't got a best in class.
Yeah.
We've got a geezer that did 6 months at Parma, a little bit of Leicester, and we've plucked him off the bench of a championship club and put him at one of the biggest jobs in the country.
He's come in and won Club World Cup.
Yeah, Club World Cup. Yeah, the world champions, Rory.
World champions. You got the big badge, you know.
That trophy. No, that trophy is amazing if it's married up with other success. But you can't go. You won the Club World Cup and that stupid other competition that we won.
Yeah.
And somehow pretend that papers over the cracks. Like, we're not a very good team. We have a very inexperienced and average manager. Like, Enzo Maresca will always pull one of those results out of the bag. He possibly wins the odd cup, but he never, ever wins a Premier League or Champions League. Never.
I think champions have a versatile way of playing, don't they? They can go and adapt themselves to different situations. You know, ugly games they can dig in. I think probably the side that are showing that at the minute are Arsenal, where they can just dig in and win in different ways. Defensively they're good. Set plays, they can win by.
But there are. But you know what? You're right.
4 or 5
You're right.
different
But there
ways.
are lots of other clubs that are capable of doing that. Loads of other clubs are capable of like finding a way to win.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
No.
We don't. Like, if you don't play well, like, look at Arsenal in Europe. They were. Did you watch their game against Prague? They were rubbish. They were rubbish, and they've come away rotating their squad. They've played a central midfielder up front who scored twice, probably the most natural finisher at the club.
Yeah.
They've got a massive 3 points. They haven't conceded a goal, and they didn't play well. That's like that's the best thing you can say about a club, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go away from
100%.
home in Europe, you win 3-0, and you haven't played well.
Yeah. Sign
Fantastic.
champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that 100%. Well, that is the review bit done. And there was loads to talk about there. Time for a bit of preview, right?
Oh,
So we do our studs up ACCA. We know that. Ali's prediction didn't come in. And I'm sorry to say my prediction didn't come in as well. I said Manchester United would beat Forest, and they didn't, of course.
Okay, and who's did come in?
Yours came in, Ben.
So,
And yours came in, Rory, as well,
Rory,
I believe.
he's behind me, though.
Yeah.
I'm off the mark.
So
He's behind me.
Off the mark, mate. Late surge.
Yeah, he's coming for me. Damn it!
I'm bottom of the pile as it stands with 1 week
That's
to
going to
go.
be pie mash and liquor for you, sir.
Oh no, that's awful. That's
What
awful.
are we getting you to do?
You can decide. I'm hearing jelly deals. I'm hearing
pie
pie
mash and
mash.
liquor.
I said
Get
do
some
the whole
jelly
show
deals.
in Nick's and Bra or something like that. Red ones.
Red ones, yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Get us all in the mood for Christmas.
Don't put that out there.
Feel up, we're
I'll be having HR in here in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, HR now. Oh God.
Listen, we'll talk.
Yes.
But it's time to preview another Studs Up ACCA. We've been given a fixture each once again. And it's a big one. It's a Studs Up derby once again because it's Tottenham versus Manchester United. And they've given you this one,
Oh,
Ben.
no!
Oh, they're so nice.
Really hard.
Really hard.
It's a tough one.
I think it's a tough one. It's one of the most iconic games in Premier League history, isn't it? Man United and Tottenham. It is. There's always drama,
you can think of
goals. There's
moments.
iconic moments that you look back and they're like incredible moments.
But you've had our pants down the last couple of years.
Yeah,
man.
and that's why I think Tottenham, the reaction.
Is that Old Trafford, isn't it?
The Copenhagen.
No.
Oh, is that Tottenham?
Is that Tottenham?
It's at Tottenham.
I think because of the drama and it happens quite a lot, doesn't it? Because of what happened last Saturday, because of the reaction in the Copenhagen game and the positivity and how well they played. I know you're saying it's only Copenhagen, but they were incredible. Even when they went down to 10 men, their reaction, the players, they didn't drop their heads. They was booming, and I think I think the managers showcased that he's a strong leader.
Yeah.
I think the players have come out and showed that they can respond after like a terrible performance against Chelsea. Even though Chelsea are very good, they only beat them 1-0. I mean, even though Tottenham were the worst they've been in years. And I think the reaction going into Man United have had a great response. They've done really well.
Give me a little bit about Man United. They're no longer a
Fair
banter
play
club,
to Amorim.
no?
Yeah, they've come back. They've responded. They've done well in recent weeks. After obviously we all highly critical of his formation, his ways, and not giving him long in the job, but he's really reacted well. But I think after Chelsea last week, the Tottenham players, the Tottenham manager will want a reaction this week against Man United. I think Man United are walking into a bit of a
lion's den, is
bit
it?
of a lion's den. I think the fans, everyone, after that Copenhagen, after one of the greatest goals I've ever seen from Micky van der Ven, I think it's going to be very difficult for Man United to get a result. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Tottenham.
Oh, well, you know what? That rationale makes sense to me. I was at Man United Spurs at Old Trafford, and Micky van der Ven tore us a new one. There, you won 3-0.
Best winger on the pitch, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
right.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So look, a man in form like that as well. He's your top goal scorer, by the way.
No, I know. It's unbelievable.
It's
What
crazy,
a player.
isn't it?
I don't.
It's not a good stat, though, is it?
Yeah, no, good or bad.
Well,
We can
it's early
spend
doors, it's early doors.
a whole episode
More
on that.
more goals than Xavi Simons.
No, that's true.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Right, okay, so 2-1 Tottenham win. You know what? It's a difficult one. As we move on to Manchester City versus Liverpool, that's my one. Oh my gosh. It's another tough one, I think. I mean, there's always a draw, like a draw in the back of my mind. I always gravitate towards that result when it comes to these two titans going against each other. Liverpool, though, that massive result in the week. But, oh, God, Haaland is he the best striker on the planet right now? There we go. I'll put that out there. I'd say absolutely.
This is difficult for a Man United fan to predict the Man City-Liverpool game.
Yeah,
it is hard for you. Because which way do you go?
What's the best result for Arsenal? What do Arsenal fans
draw?
want here?
They'd be after a draw, surely.
Draw?
Yeah.
Well, unless they think one is stronger than the other. And
City
they
are second, I think, at the time of recording, aren't they? So I think they'd be after a draw. I think they'd be really, really happy with the draw here.
So you think Haaland being the best striker in the world is the difference within that game?
I do, because I think Liverpool were a bit of a wounded animal for a little bit, and that result against Real Madrid is a massive momentum shifter. I really do believe that. And I'm sad to say, like you say, Manchester City and Liverpool, I don't really want either of these guys to be thriving. If you had to give me the choice right now, I'd be saying Arsenal win the league, please, every day of the week. I don't want either of these two anywhere near it. But in terms of this game in isolation, I think Haaland's a man in form. Shirky looks like he's stepping up now as well, by the way. I don't know if you've seen, but he's amazing. Liverpool, away from home, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm going for. I don't think it's going to be a high scorer.
Bad result for both of them.
Yeah, it would be a bad result for both of them.
Don't you think it's amazing how football, and this is the beauty of football, how it throws up fixtures in moments that are...
Yeah.
You know, it does, doesn't it? You know,
does.
through times like this. It's so difficult. Both games there.
It's a dream weekend for Arsenal, really.
Yeah.
Assuming that
100%.
Sunderland don't do something magnificent.
Yeah, no. They'll be rubbing their hands together, Arsenal, looking at this. Of course they will.
Sunderland have, obviously got stopped.
It's got a Granit Xhaka goal written all over it.
Yeah,
don't you?
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And perfect, Rory. It's almost
Is that
like
me?
we're in sync. It is you. Your fixture. So I've gone
Did
for
you
the
give in
1-1
your
draw.
prediction? Right, 1-1.
1-1 draw. I've gone there. Sunderland versus Arsenal. Arsenal away from home. First of all, Rory, before you give your prediction for this, you getting nervous about that clean sheet record yet?
No.
About the goals conceded?
No.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you sense a little bit of nerves on
I
that
can
side?
sense it.
I'll tell you when I will start taking it seriously.
Go on.
If they're matching our record and we're in January. If they're
In
still
Jan.
doing it at the end of January. End at 31st of January. If they're still on course for it in 31st of January. But I think that the festive period is so difficult.
You do well.
Yeah, it's tough.
Festive period is so difficult.
But we are looking at one of the best centre-back pairings I think the league's ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far as that.
We can't do that yet. We can't.
Why?
Because it's just not true until they've won a league. It's just not true.
Well, you can't. You wouldn't say that them two, even in recent seasons, they're two showcasing.
Not-
They're
it's
two of the
not-
best.
Should you not gauge the centre-back pairing on how many goals they've conceded rather than league titles?
No, because we don't do that. You know, the year that Man United won a treble, Arsenal that season conceded 17 goals, but no one cares about that because
one
they didn't win a
cares.
treble.
No one cares, but when the conversation
No,
pops
but they
up,
can. Arsenal, the second best record, Chelsea 15. Everyone knows it. Why? Because Chelsea won the league. When Man United won a treble, 99,
I see what you're saying.
Arsenal conceded 17. Literally, no one cares. No one knows it even. That was probably the second best defensive partnership, but you don't know who it was because, you know, unless you've won a league, you can't be compared to
You've
the
got to
very
cement
best.
it with a league title.
Yeah, you've got to cement it with the league title. But so I'm not too worried about their defensive partnership yet, but I am worried about Arsenal generally.
Okay.
But
Oh,
can't go on forever this run. They will concede a goal. I think Sunderland are brilliant.
yeah.
I think if there is a chance of an upset for anything this weekend, I can see Sunderland getting a point. I really can.
Ooh.
I don't think it's particularly extreme, do you? They're
No, I
a
don't
good
think it's
side.
extreme.
No, they are
They've won at
showcasing
Stamford
their
Bridge
good
recently.
side. Yeah.
They're a good side. Xhaka is huge. Excellent manager, ambitious club. And like I say, this Arsenal record just can't go on forever. They will concede a goal. Playing away from home in Europe, it's going to be impactful on Arsenal. I'm going 1-1.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't know if you were going to go 0-0. I know you talked about conceding
Oh,
it,
it's
but
a
you
big
think they
call.
will concede?
1-0.
There you are.
It's a big call.
Yeah, it's a big call. Draw. There you go.
Yeah.
He's gone for a big 3-pointer. So we'll find out next week who's doing the forfeit come the international break.
Oh,
So
And you're in trouble.
I'm
you
in
need
big
a big
trouble.
result.
Massive
and I've gone for
trouble.
a draw as well. So look, you got to go. You got to go big, ain't you?
Yeah,
you
you
got to
gotta
go
go
big.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
just no more curry. That's all I've asked the producers.
Agreed.
No more curry. Yeah, we're not doing that. Please don't let me do it.
doing that.
And there you go. That'll be live on site. The Studs Up Packet will be on app as well. We've gone for a Spurs win. We've gone for a draw between Sunderland and Arsenal. Arsenal, and a draw as well. I wonder what that's going to look like, by the way, between City and Liverpool. So we've got a bit of time left at the end. We are the home of Mount Rushmore. That's what
we're home. Yeah, there's a few people at it. Don't worry, we're the home.
Yeah.
Don't they care about ideas?
Bentley's told you. We are the home of Mount Rushmore. We're trying to be anyway, and we want to have a bit of fun this week. It's not quite international break yet, but we're going to have a bit of fun. It is football related, so please join in if you're listening wherever you are. As I always say, make yourself a cup of tea if you're travelling right now. Get involved, because we're doing the Mount Rushmore of Barclaysmen. Pure Barclays. I'm sat next to one here. Me and Rory are sat next to one here, by the way. You could make it.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to throw some names out there. Can I kick us off, please?
Come on in.
I just think, I'm getting giddy, man. I just think one of the best Barclaysmen of all time is JJ Okocha. Just the name, so good that to name him twice. The skills, the compilations we can look back on now. And look, he might not make one of the best Premier League 11s ever, don't get me wrong, and that's not what this is about, but he was magic to watch, bums off seats, and universally liked, I think. I think the whole league and the league itself was better to have him in it. So I'm going to put JJ Okocha on Mount Rushmore. He's my first pick. And boys, just jump in.
Just to ask you,
Go on.
Did he do too well? Like, did he do too much in the game, JJ Okocha?
Oh, do you think? I don't
He
know.
was
It's a good
incredible,
question.
but what a player.
What was his big? Did he get the big move? Did he?
He played Paris Saint-Germain,
He
wasn't
was
he?
PSG.
Saint-Germain,
I know
yeah.
PSG, but was that before Bolton?
No, it was
After?
before.
It was
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
After
I can't remember
Bolton.
where he went off.
No, it's good.
Player. Like what a group of players they had at Bolton at the time.
Yeah.
Jorge,
Hierro, Fernando Hierro.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
Qatar being
Allardyce done
told.
so well.
It was
Qatar he went to.
He went to Qatar. It was an amazing, because it was an amazing period, wasn't it? Because it was such brilliant, astute management from Sam Allardyce. Like, to marry up JJ Okocha with a Kevin Davis.
Yeah.
To marry up a Yuri Djurkaev with a Kevin Nolan. It was like the perfect blend of
Nolan.
like
Kevin Nolan.
Kevin Nolan.
Kevin Nolan's Barclays, man.
Yeah, he's a Barclays for
man.
sure.
But
But
he could be my
JJ,
one.
we're happy with JJ. Put
I
him on.
think
Kevin Nolan.
Right, go on
Yeah.
then, Bence. What do you
Kevin
think?
Nolan. Yeah,
You
I
like
mean,
him?
fair play to that geezer.
Yeah.
I mean, I was with it. I went on loan to West Ham under Allardyce with Kevin Nolan was club captain. I mean, what an environment. When you talk about create environments,
player.
and obviously they come up and got promoted. I was played in a West Ham game at Millwall. Mate,
you?
I got some abuse there.
Did you?
Oh, mate, I was
from the
called
West Ham
everything.
fans.
Yeah. Rory, I got feelings. But that was an when we're
was
talking
good,
about-
Rory. That was a good one.
Yeah, it
That
was,
was
wasn't
good.
it?
Yeah, it
I've
was
gone all
good.
red now. I'm blushing. I was getting called everything. So obviously being on corners and all that, I missed a good chance as well in that game. When it goes back, you're like, I dragged it. Allardyce give me a bit after for missing that
he?
as well. When you're talking about derbies, you know,
Yeah, it's
Tottenham,
intense.
Chelsea, and the feeling of losing.
Was he a good player though? To play with
He was.
Kevin Nolan.
He was.
He was
I mean,
such a
so
good,
productive.
just a great
Professional.
Premier League footballer.
Yeah.
Professional
Yeah.
footballer. Like not really England international quality,
Yeah.
but just like a steady Premier League player, guaranteed goals.
Yeah.
Remember the chicken?
Oh,
The
yeah.
chicken, yeah.
How can
He
we
was
forget?
one of them that no matter he scored goals, he set up goals. He was so effective. He'd give it his all, and he was a great captain. You know, creating an atmosphere
Yeah.
and environment.
Good player.
Made me pick the bill up at Little Italy. I still ain't
Did
got
he?
over it. Kev, I want my money back. And then I left because I got injured for 3 weeks. So I was only there 8 weeks. I loved it. What a good club that was, and good place. But yeah, Kevin Nolan.
Popping
And
him
you
on?
got like Gareth Barry as well, wouldn't you? People like that. Is it Gareth
Gareth
Barry?
Barry,
one?
yeah, good
Because they're
base.
steady. They play so many games, and to be fair, you forget.
Gareth Barry's got the record for most Premier League
appearances.
appearances.
It is,
Yeah, for sure.
But
So-
yeah, Kevin Nolan, because I play, there's a few in there.
But you can pop him on for now.
Yeah, I'll pop Kevin Nolan. on.
Placeholder. We're putting Nolan on. Rory, you got one for us? Because there's another spot. Don't forget there's a
yeah.
fourth.
I'll put two forward. In fact, weirdly, they're two teammates of yours. Can I give you two teammates and you pick one?
Oh yeah, come.
Love it.
Okay,
come.
so the two are, and I think these are both worthy.
They Tottenham
One-
players.
No,
no, I'm not
neither.
surprised.
Neither.
No.
Blackburn.
Two Blackburn
Go on,
players.
the Blackburn.
One is Roque Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
The other is Morten Gamps Pedersen.
Oh, both worthy.
Both worthy.
Both worthy. What do you think, Bence?
How were they to play with, the pair of them?
Mate, both good lads. I mean, Roque Santa Cruz, one of the most beautifulest human beings ever. You know what I mean? Don't bring your missus if you're going out with him. She might start looking at him.
Yeah.
But he was an unbelievable player. We built up such a good relationship. You know, me whipping him in and him you know, getting his nut on the end of it. But it was such a great. I think he come out of Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that's right.
And he come over and straight away he's just infectious, sort of around the building. Everyone loved him and incredible
Did
player.
you rate him? Was he good to
Yeah.
play with?
Oh, incredible player.
And,
yeah.
and what about Morten Gamps Pedersen?
Morten Gamps Pedersen, unbelievable engine. You've never, you know, this is when the stats first started coming in. That guy ran 2 kilometres more than anyone else.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think the team averages were like 11.5 to, top was 12k, and he'd be running 14.
Really?
And you're like, and the high intensity element, he was just a machine.
Yeah.
You talk about a player that's physically unbelievable.
Sweet left foot.
And he had a hammer of a left foot.
The
An
very
incredible
definition.
left foot.
You know when you go sweet left foot?
Yeah.
If someone said, who's got that sweet left foot?
Yeah.
I'll always go Morten Gamst Pedersen.
Yeah.
So are we going Morten Gamst Pedersen, do you think?
Yeah, I think Pedersen...
There's room for both of them. Oh, wait.
can
There's
they
room for both.
Yeah.
There is
Is there
room for
another
both.
one?
But we've got a full
Is there
spot.
another one to play with for you? Were you at Tottenham with Adel Taarabt?
Oh, yes. Oh, what a player. I was there, yeah.
Oh, Tarat's a great
Taarabt, I
shout.
was there. Taarabt, what a Paula player. Taarabt, Kevin Prince Boateng, both went on to do things.
Oh,
but
yeah.
skill on the, unbelievable skill.
Do you remember that goal he scored for QPR? I think it was against Fulham, Breda Hangeland.
Yes.
Meg him, and
Breda
then-
Hangeland, where he and
Yes.
just rolls it like in front of the loft, just rolls it into the opposite corner.
Effortless.
I know.
Effortless.
Yeah,
Natural
Great
ability,
word.
just on the ball, just unbelievable skill, training. But he was Adele. That's
Do
what you
do
get
know
with
what?
that personality.
QPR once lost 6-0 to Fulham, and Adel Taarabt left at half time, right? And he's on the King Street in Hammersmith waiting for a bus. My ex-girlfriend was a QPR fan, big QPR fan, who went to the game, and obviously they're 6-0 down. She left as well.
Yeah.
There's a picture. She took a picture at the
Stop
bus
it.
stop with Adel Taarabt.
No way.
And it went all over the
That's amazing.
You've got to resurface that.
Yeah, no, you'll find it.
get that
Adel
one up.
Taarabt just left the game at
Yeah,
half time
he
because
would
they were
do that.
6-0 down.
Do you know what? We'll stick him on Mount Rushmore for that.
Yeah.
That's pure Barkley. So we'll go Taarabt, we'll go Morten Gamst Pedersen, we'll go
Rocky
Kevin
Santa. No,
I've played
Nolan.
them all. I played them all.
Nolan,
really
you
have?
played them all.
Yeah.
Nolan
Bless.
and JJ Okocha.
And if you weren't here,
JJ.
you weren't here, I'm not going to do it in front of you, but if you weren't here, if somebody ever asked me this, I'd put you on.
you were so in the conversation for it,
thanks,
Benz.
mate.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it in
We
front
don't
of him.
we don't embarrass him.
Don't do it.
Don't do
No,
that.
not even embarrass him. He'd love it.
Look, I'm humble.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Like,
Go on, talk to me about my hat trick
massage
against
the
Man
ego,
United
you
again.
know? What's he saying?
Right, unfortunately, boys, that's where I have to call it again. I feel horrible doing this.
great
But
fun.
an hour has passed already, so there you
Yes,
go.
I know.
Thank you to Benz, thank you to Rory, and thank you guys for watching as well. Studs Up, which is on Spotify now as well, so you don't have to watch our ugly mugs. You can listen to us. But thanks, guys. We'll be back next week, and take care.